All right, what's up, people? Welcome back to the channel. We got Patrick and I'm Jake. We're going to be doing our best 11s of the Premier League era in this segment, and we're going to start with Chelsea. But before we do, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and get that notification bell on. You know we got plenty more coming for you. All right, first up, Chelsea best 11 of the Premier League era. Bit of a disclaimer. It will be biased towards our viewership as much as we try not to. And we're going to try to stick to just the Premier League since 1991, its inception. All right. What are we
Yeah,
thinking?
there's a ton of talent to really think about in that time frame. So this is really difficult. I've got, of course, your main names, your Lampard, your Czech, your Drogba, but then it starts to really kind of, okay, who really stood out? Who would you build a team around um, with those three? And it's a challenge for sure. I obviously I'm gonna have Drogba up top. One, I'm a bias when it comes to Drogba, but two, I mean the dude just scores goals and he is incredibly talented. Got to have Lampard. I think he's the greatest Chelsea player of all time. I know there are other Chelsea fans that will say it's Osgood. I get it. I never saw him play, so I can't speak with a clear conscience and say yeah it is. But I will say that in my mind, Lampard is the best player to ever play at Chelsea. And then Petr Cech in goal, dude was just a brick wall. I saw some crazy stat the other day that he was the fastest to 10 clean sheets, 50 clean sheets, and 100 clean sheets in Premier League history.
In the Prem, not just Chelsea, in the Prem?
No, in the Prem.
Yeah. Well, that's where we'll start with goalkeepers. Is there anybody that even gets close? Who's your backup? We know it's Czech. I mean, it's come on. But does
I
anybody, are
guess
there any
maybe
honorable
Courtois.
mentions?
Maybe Courtois, but even then, I'm not so big of a fan of him the way he left. And then also,
Yeah.
that last season, it almost felt like he was shipping goals because he had to wait for his contract to run out.
It's not Kepa? Just
Kepa, oh man, oh man. If he was 5 inches taller and about 20 pounds heavier, he'd actually be pretty good. But I'm trying to think who else it could be.
who was keeper before them, before both of them? It was Czech, then Courtois. Who was keeper before Petr Cech?
Well, we had Valdez. No, oh gosh, what was his name? He played for Argentina. It wasn't Victor Valdez. It was somebody else.
Sergio Romero?
No, we didn't have Sergio Romero. Hold on. Um, Chelsea
Yeah, I'm not sure.
goalkeeper
Argentina goalkeepers.
2014.
Baptista? Wasn't Baptista one of the Argentine? No, that's not right.
No, it was right after. So we had Begovic at one point,
Yeah.
which he was pretty solid.
He's
That
huge.
was Yeah, he was huge. I'm trying to think. We had Eduardo. No, he didn't really play. What was his name? It's gonna drive me insane now.
Yeah.
No.
We're not thinking he is going to oust Czech from the job.
Oh no one's out. Caballero, Willie C.
Yeah, Willie Caballero. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, he's
He
not
was there
he's
for a
not
bit, though,
pushing
right?
check out. Hmm?
He had some appearances. He was there for a second.
Yeah, he did. He did. He actually kind of bridged the gap until well, he bridged the gap from Tebow to Keppa. So I would probably go, even though his exit was not the best, I would go Courtois as the backup. Um, I don't think that I don't think Begovic or Rob Green strong enough. Um, Begovic was good though,
Yeah.
and he was immense because um, he played in some big games when Czech was injured there near the end of his career while at Chelsea before he went to Arsenal. And he was good, but other than that, I don't know how else you. I mean, Czech was in goal for so long that it's hard to. I mean, Ross Turnbull, Henrik Hilaro, no. Trying to remember who else. That's pretty much. I mean, you have Eduardo Mendy, who had an insane, an insane what 2021 2020 somewhere around there 2021, but it's Czech, it's Thibaut, and after that it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would go Czech, Thibaut, and I feel pretty confident in in that.
Well, remember, this is you are the coach, so
Yeah.
how you want to play matters.
Oh yeah, it would be Petr Cech.
Yeah.
If I have one game and I needed somebody that was I don't think Messi has still scored against Petr Cech. Like,
Really?
yeah, it's something weird.
I thought
Like,
Messi scored against everyone.
Well, he hit 800 goals today, so you never know. But I want to say he hasn't scored against Petr Cech. I'd have to check that, but there was many times against Chelsea where you thought that Messi was going to score, and Cech did what Cech does and kept it out. Dude was a brick wall, and of course he was iconic with the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
You know that gave him his own look. Unfortunately, he had to have it for medical reasons, but yeah, he just unbelievable goalkeeper.
Perfect. Well, speaking of brick walls, defense. We'll start with the left back because I think that's probably
that's easy. That's Ashley Cole. That's Ashley Cole. That's like the second easiest pick you could come up with.
Does anybody get a shout like Marcus Alonso, or we just throw him on the other side? Reece James? Nah. I mean,
well,
I know
you play him on the right,
but
I can't think of anybody else really that.
Not Graham Lasso? Oh man, shots fired. That was me.
Shots fired. No, I can't think of anybody else. Just
holding it down. Just hold that position down.
He's just got it.
He might feature in the other half of this as well.
I would be shocked if he didn't.
Right. Yeah.
I would be shocked if he didn't.
I think your center defense is perhaps one easy one and one tough one.
Oh yeah, most definitely. John Terry is an absolute 100%, no questions asked. The second spot though,
yeah,
that's tough. I mean, you got Carvalho. I was never really a big fan of
what about Cahill?
Cahill, yeah, I was never really a big fan about Cahill. I guess. I mean, if we're talking now, I guess that would be the move. I'm trying to think who else could be in there. Alex was pretty good. But I mean, he's still man.
A little bit earlier, you mentioned Desai. He was
Desai, yeah, that's a possibility.
The early 2000s.
That probably might be the move that I would go with, because yeah, I mean, there's no one that really jumps out other than Desai, and not Luis or David Luiz, not a chance. So yeah, we'll go John Terry and then Desai, and then
he's the third one on the list when I type in greatest Chelsea defenders. The third one is Marcel Desailly.
Hey, there you go. You know
who Ron Harris is?
No, I think he was a while back. Yeah.
70s.
Yeah. but yeah, I would go with that Desai. The center, the mid, well, the right back first off.
Are you playing a 4-3-3?
Yeah, I'll play a 4-3-3. Um, I don't know. I mean, it could be Reece James, but as you like to point out, he's very lackadaisical. And if it's a one game match, I don't know. I worry about him turning off. Ivanovic was really good until he got to the end there. You have
No shout for Chilwell?
Bosingwa, who was pretty good too.
Jose Bozingua, yeah.
Yeah.
No shout for old Chilwell?
No, actually, I read that Chilwell might be going to City.
Oh, goodness gracious, of course.
Yeah. Chelsea may cash in on him.
He's like carrying y'all right now.
I know. I don't get it. But hey, who knows?
This is
There's
tough
probably
one.
someone they're planning on buying.
I think Carvalho might be in with a shout for right back as well.
He could play there. And that was one thing I was thinking is maybe putting him at right back.
Also important to remember.
I actually think he played a little bit there.
Yeah.
There near the end for him too.
Remember who you played against.
Yeah, exactly.
That's important. You know who's going to be out on that left wing, don't you?
Oh yeah. I need somebody. That's why I can't play Reece James there. He's gonna get destroyed.
Yeah.
He's not. Paulo Vieira played out there too.
Bazinga's got speed.
Yeah. I think he played maybe Ivanovic. I mean, he shut down some people.
I think he's quick enough. Not quick enough to keep up, but he's big enough and smart enough to kick him on his way past. And
well, he could body. I mean, he can get physical. And that's part. I mean, that was what he was really good at. Was he almost frustrated players because of how physical he was, but he could toe that line. Yeah. Unlike a lot of players.
That would be my vote, but
yeah. I think we'll go that route too. The Carvalho one is one that I'm kind of still maybe, but I think considering who's going to be out on that wing, I would go with Ivanovic.
He's the 65th minute sub, Carvalho.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good one.
Absolutely.
Midfield. Now this is where it gets fun because you start to really think about some of the names that are in there. You think about how you want to actually play. Makelele's got to be in there. You need somebody who's just gonna eat up balls.
Well, if that's the case, wouldn't you want Conte over Makelele?
That's where I'm. That's why I just kind of had like the sigh. Like, do I really want to? I guess you could go Conte and then Makelele on the bench.
Or vice versa.
Yeah. Conte is best is world class.
Yeah, at his best, an absolute monster.
And he always shows up in big moments. I mean, our last Champions League run was because Conte was he was unstoppable in the midfield. Like Real Madrid had no answer for him. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can do any better than that right now.
It was always so impressive to me that he was so good at tackling and so good at tracking back, but also like you don't get the ball off of him. His ball retention was stupid. Like you can't get the ball from him. So
one thing that I struggle with, like I know we've done this exercise before and it didn't work, but I left a name off. I left Essien off, and now I'm like, well, do I play Essien? Do I play Michael Ballack? Do I play?
Well, Essien would match Conte's position more so than Alex's position, but but see, those guys were playing a different formation. They weren't playing the 4-3-3 we know today.
Yeah, that's true. Oh man, this is a lot tougher
So,
than I thought it would be.
you only really have 2 slots because there's one name that's always, all day
Oh yeah,
long.
Frank Lampard, all
Frankie
time.
Lampard's in there all day long. So we're really arguing about 2 spots. Personally, my 3 was Conte, Lampard, Ballack.
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, just how many creative center attacking midfielders, and you can't count De Bruyne, uh, uh,
I know, right?
are going to slot in there. You know, Michael, it's
Yeah,
part of that.
and then
OT
you could have Essien on the bench with Makaleli.
Yeah.
Um, man, that's tough. And then one name that always gets forgotten, but he was so steady was John Obi Mikel.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I always called him the closer because as soon as he came in, that game was over. You weren't getting the ball off of
I
us at that point.
my last club team when I was in high school, my last soccer team, like youth team or whatever,
Mhm.
we had shirts made with all of our names on the back of it, and they spelled my name wrong intentionally so that it looked like John Obi Mikel's name, and so my last name on there was Mikel.
That's fantastic.
Great.
That's great.
And he always called me, the coach always called me that.
I
I was
love it.
like, dude,
I love it. You know,
that's
one name that we're leaving out in this, and I could have played him at right back was Azpilicueta.
oh yeah, yeah.
In his prime, dude was
Not
I
to
mean, he
mention
could
being the
cross the
servant.
ball, he could play defense. Oh,
He'd be the captain if he hadn't got, scissor kicked.
Lampard yeah, exactly. Haven't gotten scissor kicked in the face. Um, we'll put him on the bench, but yeah, I like I like going with Bollock. We'll go Conte, Bollock, Lampard. Um, and then up front you got Drogba. Um, who do you take between on the right there? You know, you
My
got
right's blank.
Iron Robin.
My
Is it
left, my
Robin?
left one, I know. My right one's blank.
Who do you have on the left?
It's Eden Hazard.
Eden Hazard? Think so?
Yeah, Hazard before the beer gut,
Oh
monster.
yeah, dude was a beast.
He
He was like
carried
the
y'all a
most
couple
fouled
seasons ago.
player in the Premier League, and yet he just took it and just kept. Oh man, he was incredible. You know, another midfielder that I just thought about, Juan Mata. He goes with little fanfare, but dude was
Monster.
so good for us.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean, without his kick, Chelsea doesn't Chelsea doesn't win their first Champions League in Bayern.
Definitely makes the
Um,
bench, at least.
he's got to make the bench. Um,
Does he have a
and
shot
then
for right forward?
no, I liked him more. Kind of in that creator mode, and that's where he played really well. Um, because he would play narrow when he was playing like out on the wing. But when he could create and play balls, and I mean, the thing we got to remember is all those Spanish players at that time, they were all trying to be the next guy in the in the national team. So they all played kind of the same, and they all had that
Well, he got time
flair
in the national
and
team.
ability.
Mata got time in the national team.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I mean, he and more his time more was when you had Iniesta and Xavi had kind of retired. But I mean, he might make the bench. As you really start to kind of break this down, think about it. Of course, you got Zola could play on the right. You, you could play Iron Robin. You could play. I mean, there's so many that you could play.
The
I
problem is
think I agree
Rob,
with.
Robin wasn't in his prime until Bayern.
That's true. That's true. But he was still good, very good at Chelsea.
If you
Like,
could take Bayern, Robin.
oh yeah, most definitely, most definitely. So yeah, I agree on the Hazard left wing because I can't think of anybody else off the top of my head. So go Hazard, and then of course Drogba up front. Oh man,
Mentions
that
like
right
Andrei
wing.
Shevchenko should be mentioned.
Do what?
Andrei Shevchenko should be mentioned, even though he's not displacing Drogba.
Oh
He,
yeah, he should be. Most
he's
definitely.
amongst.
Diego Costa. I mean, if we're talking about center forwards, I mean, Diego Costa was really good. Forgot about Cess. I mean,
Okay.
Cess was really good for Chelsea.
He was. He
He
was.
got to sit back and just play balls, and I think that's what a lot of people are hoping for Enzo to be is to be like Cess. And he's played some balls that look like what Cess would have played. I all right, so we'll go Hazard, we'll go Drogba,
Timo.
Timo. I don't think he's gonna make the bench, buddy. Um,
What about Florent Maluda?
oh, that's a bad name. He was
Is
so
it?
good too. He was so good, and then he just, oh man, he turned into he started to pout, and when I mean, he was playing with the youth at one point because he was such a cancer to the first
Yeah.
team.
Mm.
William, William's a possibility. Um,
What about I had another one. What was it? Oh yeah, Solomon Kalou.
I was thinking about Kalu, and he's very unheralded. But he was a poacher for one, if he scored, but he ran teams ragged. Um, man, I don't know. See, now another thing that I have to think about though is who can also help Ivanovic with
Yeah, who tracks back? Yeah.
Henri. William will do that. That was the one
Yeah.
thing that William was known for was working hard. Um,
He still does. He works hard to get back for intentional handballs.
and then
Too soon?
complain about it. They complain about it.
Too soon?
No, never too soon. Never too soon. And then we're not even talking about Zola because I've only seen his
It's not big real. Yeah.
highlight reel, but he would be hard to cover on the edge. Um, let's go
Again, depends
William.
on what you're
I
going
think we're
for.
gonna go William because I have to think about um who's gonna help with Henri, and William will do that. And he also has the speed to hit you on the counter. He also can hit a free kick.
Mm.
He was very frustrating because sometimes he would pull the ball back and kill the counter, but you know, we all have our mistakes every now and then. But I think that's what we do. So we go um, Hazard, Drogba, and William up in that top, and then we'll find some people for the bench. But Kalu was a really good one. I've been thinking about. I just didn't know he was more of a super sub type. I'm not sure that he would have gotten in a starting role. But William works, and he's got some flair to him.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I have here Petr Cech, Branislav Ivanovic, Marcel Desailly, John Terry, Ashley Cole, Frank Lampard, N'Golo Conte, Michael Ballack, Willian. Does he have another name? Does he have a second name, or is it's just Willian?
It's like four names.
Sure.
William De Sotis. Yeah.
Didier causes an armistice, Drogba, and Eden Hazard. That was my favorite story of the 06 World Cup was the Ivory Coast stopped at Civil War to watch the national team because Drogba
course.
brought them all together.
Of
That
course.
was fantastic.
The man's a saint.
Drogba was immense. Absolutely.